Welcome to my art studio where all the magic happens. This is the station for painting, and that is the station for all the resin art I do. If you want to check out my art, all you gotta do is go to lutfstudio.com. I gotta go finish this painting, but I'm sure, or at least I hope, I'll see you at lutfstudio.com. Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to Live Up to Freedom. Thank you so much for joining me today. As always, I'm very grateful for you being here. Wherever you are tuning in, please do make sure to share this feed as um, it'd be very helpful. We are live on all platforms as always, as of right now. Knock on wood, I guess we are not banned from any platforms yet, which is a great news. So I will talk to you today about Islamic Republic of Iran and U.S. government doing more negotiation and working through some, prisoner exchange again, but in a very unique and different way. But before I get there, there is a topic I want to maybe take a few minutes to talk about. I was so going to not touch this. I had absolute plans not to touch it, but I can't. Why is it that I can't? I figured, I normally try not to touch this topic until yesterday. I saw a reaction to Rihanna's performance on Super Bowl halftime. Um, and I was like, okay, now I have to. I really have to. And this isn't so much, you know what? I'm not going to explain what is it about or not. I'll let you be the judge of that. But yesterday, I don't know how many of you watched the Super Bowl. As you know, I didn't. I was actually on air with Michael Lauber and Todd Bensman on Let's Be Frank. And again, I'm not saying I don't watch football. A good football game is always fun to watch, but I was busy. I had more important things to do. But then I started seeing clips and hearing things about the Super Bowl halftime and all that stuff until yesterday when I saw um, Candace Owen, respectfully, her opinion, uh, doing somewhat of a feedback to Rihanna's performance. And I can't. I wanted to play her video, Candace Owens' video reaction, but I can't because about easily 50 to 60% of words she used are absolutely not allowed, especially on the Mill TV and WBW. So I'm gonna have to ask you to go watch it yourself if you want to. But gist of it was, she was, as she said, she was watching this performance with her jaw dropped as of how surprisingly, I guess, um, this was happening. Few points in a different language I'm going to use. As I said, the words used on her show are not, I mean, I wouldn't want to use them anyways, but also on platform, I can't use those here. But just of it was, Rihanna kept her clothes on the entire time. There was no, um, sexuality signs. There was no political sign. One of the phrases, paraphrasing but exact words used by Candace, was she didn't ask for Satan to stand next to her and sing a verse or two with her, and she was very impressed basically with Rihanna doing a halftime on Super Bowl and not going or lowering herself to standards of Hollywood, because nowadays Hollywood doesn't allow, unless you're naked or nude or doing all sort of, transgender stuff or political message, all that. You get the gist of it. That this was um, Candace Owens' take on it. And also, she addressed that some people said Rihanna kept her clothes on because she is pregnant, and Candace Owens mentioned that no, actually, nowadays in Hollywood, the when you're pregnant is where you have to be the most crazy. I'm going to actually add a point. You know, many celebrities or singers or whatever we want to call them have done nude picture photo shoot for pregnancy. Many people have done so. Now, with that being said, as I said, I wasn't planning to touch the halftime show or Super Bowl altogether. But the reason I decided to do that is I don't know if Candace missed it altogether, if she was only paying attention or only hoping for someone to keep their clothes on. I don't know what Candace's point was, but considering Candace Owen has a very, very big audience, and she's an influencer, and many people, follow her and listen to her without going and confirming things. I kind of felt like, wait, I need to just point this out. Um, I need to point out that there was nothing to celebrate or be proud of or to be impressed by or be happy with the halftime show. Um, Everybody was fully clothed. Yes, that shouldn't be in a standard in general. It isn't mine. Because remember, I mean, are we going to celebrate hijab of Muslims too because women are covered head to toe? Like, is that the new standard now? Candace, are we going opposite from Hollywood being everybody's naked to Islamists who's everybody covered head to toe? I mean, I'm just saying. But whatever your point was, you missed a huge part that shouldn't have been praised or impressive to you. The entire show. Now, I'm not a fan of any artist in general, um, but I have back in the time I have listened or I have had some of Rihanna's songs that I have listened to. I'm not, you know, I'm not undermining her talent. She does have a good voice. She's definitely very trained on vocal cords and vocal control. All that being said, she has also been hugely part of Illuminati's, if that's how I pronounce it, Illuminati's. She has done plenty to mock Christ. Even her entrance when she got to Super Bowl to get ready, the T-shirt she was wearing was the upside down cross. I believe the writing on it was "Control Minds" with upside down cross. Now all of that is still there, and she the entire time I would say definitely I didn't understand. I had to go watch the whole thing after, hearing what Candace had to say. I didn't see I didn't see anything entertaining. I didn't see anything exciting. I didn't understand the concept of dancers. Like, what are we doing? As a dancer myself, I was absolutely lost as to who choreographed this because nobody's moving. It does look like there are a couple of kickboxing punches going on and kicks going on. Other than that, there's no dance. Anyways, make it all too long, apparently. I muted the video just in case because I have no idea when who says what in these lyrics anymore. But let me see if I can put this up. And I try to cue this right where it happens. Boom. There you have it, Candace. What is so impressive about this? I'm pretty sure you're familiar with that sign. And before we get to her doing the sign, even the platforms of the dancers and her shapes the triangle for her right as she's closing that song. This is the very end of her performance. Now, there are other gestures during the show that, as I said, because I try to keep my program as family friendly as possible, I wasn't about to cue those and show them. But I figured right here with her full demon, the clothes that you're so proud of her for keeping on, being the demon gesture of, look, uh, she closed her entire performance this way. I don't know if I don't have anyone here with me, or everybody's quiet and nobody's commenting, or my system is crashing. But Oh, thanks. Someone just said what I just said. Yeah, looks. I don't know what's going on. Maybe we just don't have anyone with us, or nobody's in mood to comment. But if anyone is here from each platform, it would be great to hear. If not your thoughts, just at least I know we're live. It's a little hard to tell sometimes with technology. Anyhow, back to it. I don't want to spend my entire program on this, but I just figured with Candace, when you're in the position you are, you need to be careful of what you're promoting. You have got to be careful. You have missed a step a few times in the last couple of months, but this one was definitely something that got my attention. For you to be so happy and watch this show with your jaw drop of amusement of wow, finally a halftime show that nobody's naked and nobody's promoting Satan, you either missed it, you didn't watch it all the way, or you need to do a little bit of more research, or your producers or whomever writes your script need to do a little bit more research into hand gestures and signals. There you have it. That was my feedback on what I was planning not to touch. As I said, I'm not even talking about the halftime itself. I'm just talking when you have conservative, Christian, patriot. Yes, I'm doing all that. With millions of people watching, be careful of what you praise. Be careful of who you support. I mean, we're one end of your angle has been anti-Semitism that you've been defending, and now we have this. So I'll pray that you correct yourself on the record. I pray you come back on earth and say, well, it's great they kept their clothes on, but they are praising Satan. That would be one. Okay. Now let's go talk about. Oh, hello, hi everybody. A few comments came through. Okay, good. At least we're live. It would have been so weird if I was talking to myself. Oh no, I do that all day long. Let's talk Iran. Islamic Republic of Iran and United States of America are negotiating. This report came out of NBC. Sources confirm that there is a negotiation going on. It's not concluded yet. At the moment, it's just on base of negotiation. So, United States of America is requesting the release of few Iranian American prisoners who are still in Iran in prison. In return, we are not releasing any prisoners. My guess is probably because we got no one left to release. We already released everybody between Biden and Obama. Everybody's released. But in return, the negotiations talk about yet more money and asset released or unfrozen for Islamic Republic of Iran that is being held in South Korea right now. Few things here. Number one is hey, go away. See you on Rumble. Awesome. Thanks. Um, Number one, so on one hand, we're supposedly, we being United States of America, United States of America on one hand is supposedly um, putting more sanctions on Iran, protecting the American people from the threats, direct threats, you know. They are, you know, standing by people of Iran. They want to end the terrorism by regime, all that good stuff. But then on the other hand, we're negotiating again, take prisoners back or release prisoners. In return, we unfreeze more assets. Um, I'm lost for words at this point. What I don't know. I have no idea what to say except that this needs to end. How I'm not sure, but I will look into it. That's for that. And now the other part is why is this not all over the news? Why is this not being, plastered all over the place? Why are we not talking about the fact that yet again we're about to give billions to Islamic Republic of Iran? Let me remind you real quick. This is not about my bad experiences with the regime. This is not about the regime wanting me dead. This is not about the regime putting um, uh, manpower and money to kidnapping and killing of Masih Alinejad, another Iranian American. This is about Islamic Republic of Iran's IRGC directly issuing a bounty, a death sentence on former and sitting officials of our government here in the United States of America. It started with President Trump, but the latest video I played about 2 months ago, I think, or a month ago. No, it was on December. No, it was on January. January 8th is when I played that video. Um, it's up to almost 9 or 10 members now. This is the regime where yet again they go like, when does this end? The Iran nuclear deal died. They're pretending that it's on hold. Okay, fine. We're all going to believe that, even though Iran is announcing that it's dead. And again, I played the video of Biden saying the deal is dead, but we're just not announcing it yet. We have all of this done. Now we find a new situation that, hey, you have American Iranian citizens, dual citizens, and you're present in Iran. This would be a great opportunity for us to give you yet more money and then pretend like we're just getting prisoners in return. There are so many different laws against what the Iran regime is doing that we should be able to very easily, if we wanted to, very easily take our people back. I don't even want to call them prisoners because none of them are in prison in Iran for actually committing a crime. None of them. But as most of you are familiar with countries like China, like Russia, like Iran, they grab you, they label you with spying, and boom, you're a prisoner, right? But we're again, or our so called government, quote unquote, regime is again using this opportunity, abusing American citizens in bad situation to hand more money to Islamic Republic of Iran's regime. Thank you, Scott. Perfect. They are hostages. Thank you. Brilliant. Thanks for helping me out here. They're not prisoners, they're hostages. 44 years ago, for those of you who may not know, about a week ago, I don't even know what is today. What is today? I don't know. About a week ago, the Islamic Republic of Iran's regime celebrated their 44th anniversary of demolishing and conquering my motherland. In 44 years, from day one to today, that's been the scenario. They take hostages, we give them money. They take hostages, we give them money. I'm sorry, I needed to take a breath there before. Oh. Let me address this really quickly. Go away. My time slot has not changed on Lindell TV. We're working on it, but we don't have enough vote to move me at this spot. This is my spot on WBW TV and other platforms. So this will be ran tomorrow on my 2:30 Central Time spot, unless there's a breaking news and I go live on that spot as well. So at the moment, I'm juggling two different air times to the best of my ability. But I hope that answers your question. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, fellow Americans, fellow Iranians, it's still happening. It will keep on happening until somewhere, somehow stops, put an end to it. I'm hoping my fellow Iranians will end this revolution. They have started back in September 16th of 2022. But as long as US government or regime or cabal is going to fund the regime in Iran, I don't know how much hope is there for Iranians to topple this regime, right? Khamenei, the supreme leader of Islamic Republic of Iran himself said yesterday, Monday, whenever that was known, on Monday, he said, if the Islamic regime has reached its end, how come the foreign countries and the enemy is still trying so hard to negotiate? Guy's got a point. Guy's got a point. These are the time. Let me just plug something real quick. If you don't listen or watch Brandon House Radio, it's Monday through Friday, 1 p.m. to 2 p.m. Central Time. I really strongly suggest you do. It's a radio or even You can watch it on Lindell TV and www.tv.com as well. But put your headphone on. I do that. I have my headphones on and I'm working as I'm listening to Brad's show. Now, all of his shows are brilliant, but that one, it's mainly Brandon himself. And last few days, he's been going over history of U.S. government's misdeeds, I guess would be the best way to put it. And this is where it comes to another corruption in our government. And this, I'm not going to point finger on any party at all. It's the combination of all corrupt people in our regime and cabal government, whatever you want to call it. People of Iran are fed up. They want to get rid of this cabal. They want to get rid of this murderous regime. They can't because United States of America is still funding them. Back off. As an Iranian American, on behalf of all my fellow Iranians, I'm asking you to back off. What do you want from us? This regime has blood of tens of hundreds of thousands of people on their hand. That is not including the Americans they have managed to kill and slaughter. That is not including the other Middle Eastern Christians they have persecuted. That is not including all the funding they have funneled into every single Islamic terror group. Leave us alone. Now you want to get three prisoners, and in return unfreeze more assets of Islamic Republic of Iran in South Korea. SD Honey, are you talking about the Iranian upcoming rally they're doing for back on 22nd? That one I am aware of. But if that's not the one, no, please do tell me about it. Uh, exactly, Donald. Not just president, anyone. All of these, Me Too movement and Women's March and Ilhans and Rashidas and AOCs and Lindas that are killing themselves, supposedly protecting women's rights. Every single one of them who has hands and they are involved and they have even knowledge of U.S. government is still funding the Islamic regime are a bunch of hypocrites. Not that we didn't know, because we all know what a hypocrite they are. But right now they're proving women in Iran are dying every day for basic rights. They are finally standing up. And we have female members of US government behind this funding of the regime that is killing them every day, is arresting them every day. Up to 27,000 Iranians are in prisons now, arrested during the uprising. You know how many teenage girls looked at as women under Islam in Iran? Teenage girls have been killed and then their bodies were examined and they were sodomized and raped. Is that how you fight for women's right and children's right? These are children. The average age of these protesters in Iran is 15 years old. How dare you stand anywhere in any shape and say you stand by people of Iran when this is what you're doing in return? All of your talk has been exposed for being nothing but lies. You want to stand by people? You know what? We don't even want you to stand with us. We don't. Just back off. Close that bag of money. Watch as the people of Iran will get rid of that regime. Oh, wait, you can't afford that. Huge part. The elite started shaking when the uprising in Iran started because they weren't counting on such thing to happen. Because the mullahs are a huge part of this elite. I just don't know. I just don't know what it takes or how long does it take or who's going to even care to cover this. I am bringing you this news from Iran International from Farsi language translated to the best of my ability to English to tell you. And again, this isn't about people of Iran. For me, it is. Half of these veins popping up is my Iranian blood. But for you, should also be concerned that this cabal you're dealing with is directly now shamelessly funding terrorism against us, the American people. Remember, the bounties and the death threats placed by IRGC is towards us. They have repeatedly put information out in English, in Farsi, in Arabic, in Pashto, in Dari. They have put out information that revenge is mandatory. Revenge is obligation. In we will revenge Soleimani's death. They even sent a threat or note or whatever we call it to the Biden regime saying if you don't hand over Trump, we won't stop. Our Muslim brothers won't stop until blood is dripping from their sleeves. Oh, wait. Nobody's reporting on any of that either. Yours truly is the only one. And as we can tell always, yours truly is the smallest, tiniest fish in the tank. While the rest of the big fishes are praising um, Rihanna's halftime show just because she kept her clothes on, ignoring the fact that she closed her entire performance with one of the highest viewed show of all year with a Illuminati sign. We ignore that. Ay, 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 ay. What could possibly go wrong? Anyways, I figured I should let you guys know that Islamic Republic of Iran might possibly um, release three American Iranian citizens from their prison in return of unfrozen assets in South Korea. Now, one thing that's very interesting, I should pull up here, is how the oh, do pardon me, an important point. These negotiations are also indirect, right? They still don't talk to us, indirect. But who are the mediators? UK and Qatar. Again, UK and Qatar are mediators between Iran and US during these indirect negotiations. A long, long time ago, I warned everyone to keep your eyes on Qatar. Might be a tiny itsy bitsy dot on the map, but keep your eyes on it. Ilhan Omar and Rashida Tlaib are working overtime as a cover for Islamic cruelty towards women. They would rather see more of the world ruled by Islamic law than protect humanitarian rights of women. Bingo. Yes, talk about Rashida Tlaib. I will go ahead and take my sponsor break for a minute or two. When we come back, I actually want to talk about um, I want to talk about our kids, but I want to start with Palestinian kids that Rashida Tlaib seemed to be very proud of, rather wrap herself in a um, Palestinian flag than an American flag day after she's elected. But let's do this. Let's go ahead and take a 1 minute or maybe 2 minute sponsor break, and then thank you, Lindell TV audience, as always. And for rest of the platforms, don't go anywhere. I'll be right back after this sponsor break.
Story started with alcohol, and I had tried going to other treatments, and all I did was think about how I was not going to drink or how I was going to drink one more day and then stop the next day. And Katie had found a treatment. I thought it was kind of hokey.
I could see a couple days into it, it's like the light bulb went on with him.
It's an IV infusion of all natural NAD. It saved my life and my family.
We've been where you sit.
The hardest part of this is making that phone call and just come in and talk to us.
Welcome back to Live Up to Freedom. Sorry, I was just scanning through comments quickly. Thank you for staying with me until now. I do appreciate that. And Wait, is the Linda Sarsour was running around where? In Los Angeles, California? Why? Yeah, she needs to go away. Go away. Thank you. Okay, go away. Thank you for the link to 2021 Super Bowl. I will definitely watch that as soon as I can. Okay. Oh, wow. Ventura Boulevard. That brings memories. 13 years of my life in LA. I drove through that. I actually escaped through Ventura Boulevard to, I must say, I believe I went to Encino Police Department after I was attacked by two Pakistani men on 4th of July in LA. I was driving through Ventura to get to the police department. Anyways, okay. I'm about to do something I've never done. So if something pops up on my screen out of the blue, I'll grab it quickly and take it down. But I need to add this video up here somewhere so I can show you. And I'm really hoping no, it doesn't. Okay, good. Um, okay, let's talk about kids. Kids. The other day I was thinking about as you know, I love America. I do. I love my fellow Americans. But um, when I moved and I had a good friend of mine, American friend of mine here helping with the move, and then my good Iranian friend kids came over. They're very young. It's 6, 7 years old and 8, 9 years old and 12, 13 year old. So young kids, girls. They came over and we decided to get something to eat and stuff like that. And this American friend of mine actually noticed that wait a minute, they don't have devices. Their head's not in their tablets or phones, and they're actually helping in the kitchen. And they're engaged and they're talking and they're asking what they can do to help. I said yes, that's still even Iranian kids who are born here are raised with the culture of you don't get a phone or a device or a tablet until you're older. And while growing up, you still have to be engaged. You need to talk to people. You need to socialize. You need to help. You need to do your chores. Yada 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 yada. And this as this discussion was going on, I said, um, there are also in bigger cities, there are some, Iranian schools, not Islamic school, Iranian schools where you can send your kid to learn Farsi, writing, reading, poetry, history, culture, all that. And as I was anyways going over all of that, I'm like, what we have discussed this, at the start, education started at home, but then also the schools. Um, I was looking through some tweets today and I came across this video I'm about to play for you. And the write up is so perfect. I'm going to literally use the same write up, probably paraphrasing it. But it was the whole why at a school here in America we're teaching our kids gender don't exist or you pick your own gender and how to be a transgender and have the story time with drag queens and what I can't even have a straight face when I talk about this kind of stuff. It's so ridiculous. Let me try to put my serious face back on. Why we're teaching our kids all of this, basically bottom line, we teach them to hate America, hate the Constitution, hate our values. Um, there's no God, one of the biggest teachings in the schools nowadays. While that's all happening, I'm going to play this video, of course, mute, and I'm going to just leave it. Hopefully, I can do that loop next to me. This video is a school in, I on the write up, it was mentioned that it's in China. Now, please don't come at me with like, oh, I don't want to teach my kids how to do, use guns. I mean, I will if I ever have kids. Um, but this is what they're teaching. their kids. This is now, I'm sure they're teaching their kids other stuff like mathematics and science and physics and all that stuff too. But it's not at least to me, it's not about the gun itself. It's how much concentration and accountability this kid is learning, right? Hi, Karen. I am glad you made it home from work and you can join us. Um, yes, Donald, they are teaching our kids to devalue life. Um, this is one country. Now I can tell you in Islamic Republic of Iran, outside of the Islamic brainwash, the level of education on every other topic is really high too. I remember when, as you know, I was pulled out of school. I didn't even have high school diploma. And then when I came to America, when I went to LA in 2005, I decided to, go to school, do something, learn something. And I decided to go to ICDC college. And when I got there, they said, you need to pass the placement test. I'm like, what's that? They're like, English and some this, some that, some that. And I was like, okay, let's see what I can do. Um, and then after ICDC, when I decided to go to AI, Art Institute, they said you need a high school diploma. Not even a GD, you need an actual high school diploma. I was like, okay. So I went to Westwood something and took the high school diploma, and I actually aced it. And I did tell the person in the room that was, I'm like, is this really a high school diploma test? And he was like, yeah, what do you mean? I'm like, why is it so easy? It's like a Middle Eastern, aren't you? I'm like, yeah, it's like all of our tests are lower level of education when it comes to Middle Eastern school. I was like, okay. So that's that. Um, my point being that we really need to think of ways. Now, if you're able to do homeschooling, that's wonderful. But if you're not, I'm sure parents can get more involved with the school. Parents can kind of I don't know. Again, I'm not a parent. I don't have kids. So I'm not an expert on how the school system works, but I'm pretty sure still with all of our constitution there must be a way for parents to get involved and say, hey, how about this? I don't want my kid to know anything about sexuality until you know I don't know, 14, 15, 16. I don't even know what age that is. If you ask me, until 20. I know I'd be very tough mom. um, Thank you, Karen. You're very kind. It's like, what is it now? Third grade, second grade? They're all talking about different genders and what are your noun? What do you want me to call you? What do you want to be later? Anyways, I really do pray and hope that parents get really seriously involved and put an end to it. Because you watch that video of these little kids are putting a gun together. Now, I'm not saying, I mean, if you're anti-gun and if you believe gun kills people, fine, have them do puzzles. To me, it's the same thing. You puzzle, diamond painting, putting a gun together, or taking a gun apart to clean it. They're all the same thing to me. It's about concentration. It's about reaction time. It's about accountability. It's about paying attention to detail. It's about a speed. They all go into the same category for me. But then again, I don't believe guns kill people. I believe people kill people. I mean, take my gun away, I'm pretty sure I'll find out. I mean, right here, I'll use this. If you know what to do, where to do, how fast to do it, what's the speed versus, pressure, you get the job done. I just made myself sound like a serial killer, didn't I? I am not. But you get my point. You do get my point. Now, before I run fully out of time, I do want to take a minute because many of you who are on the chat and the comment section or just viewing have been so wonderfully supportive of my art. And uh, just in case if I have not talked about this, so I create my art pieces in my own garage. I don't have a place that I go to. It's just my garage. I posted a couple of pictures of it on my Facebook recently. So when I move, basically my art studio is shut down. It's closed down until I finish the move, and then normally the last area I put together is my garage, just because everything else kind of take priority. I did finish putting up the garage or studio again. Now, the ad you've seen played at the beginning of every show, that's like one, two, three houses ago, that garage. I do need to do a new ad, so you're more current to the newest studio. Anyhow, but that being said, I understand I'm very low on inventory. I believe you only have 4 items left, and I know I have about probably 6 or 7 custom orders requests. I will get it started this weekend and I will start building more inventory. I will get to your custom orders. I do appreciate your patience to wait. But starting sometimes midweek next week, I should be able to start posting new um, items on my artist studio. So stay tuned. I appreciate your patience. Just give me a little bit more time and make sure to favorite the Etsy store, lutfstudio.com, LUTF studio. There's no S at the end, just the studio, one studio. lutfstudio.com is you can favorite the shop. What happened is when I do um, add items, you'll get a notification that Annie just listed a new item. If you have made purchases recently, make sure to go back and leave a review because your reviews are generally the main reason that my store is still a 5-star seller and comes up really quickly on search results, and you're all helping me very much. I am so very glad. Yes, that's one thing I've been asked constantly of, am I going to do any more crosses? Yes, I will do a full badge as soon as I finish catching up with work. I'm going to get in my garage and start doing more crosses. So anyhow, I wanted to one say thank you. You guys are amazing. It's unbelievable the support you have shown toward my art. I love doing them. It just takes my mind off everything. And of course, you create it, and at the end of the day, you look at it, and it's pretty cool. So I will also announce as soon as we have the new inventory up. My Give Send Go is still active. As you know, it's a monthly. Those of you who donated are the main reason that I'm actually able to go live on 6 different platforms, including a streaming directly on my website, liveuptofreedom.com, where it's genuinely less worry of who's going to shut me down, it's my own website. So thank you for those of you who have contributed. If you haven't and would like to, um, I think my link is givesendgo.com/LUTF. That's where you can, I should probably just type it up here and make sure that's what it is. But you can go in there. You can either do a one-time donation or you can put it on recurring monthly donations. And there we go. I'm actually pulling it up right now. Yes, givesendgo.com/LUTF is the campaign. So it's going to be up there pretty much all the time. Every 30 days, it resets itself. So I appreciate those of you who have contributed as well. We do have a new PO box, um, but I completely forgot to put it on my lower third because I'm that brilliant. The new PO box is actually pretty easy to remember. It's just PO Box 806, Frisco, Texas. Frisco, 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 Texas. For those of you, I have a few messages of you want to send a book, you want to send a card. So that is the new PO box. If you want to start using it today, PO Box 806, 806, Frisco, Texas. Frisco, uh, Texas. Yes, if you are a coffee drinker like me and Donald, you can go to mystore.com or mypillow.com, grab yourself my coffee, use the promo code AC21, Annie Cyrus 21, AC21. You get a discount, I get credit. I can continue doing what I do. Now, on the lower third, you can see that if you like to make a tax deductible donation, because nothing of mine is tax deductible, and I understand if you don't feel comfortable contributing. If you do want to make a 100% tax deductible donation, do it at www.foundation.com. www.foundation.com. That is Brian House's foundation. Um, that is a nonprofit organization. You get tax deductible receipt, and supporting Brand House and WBW supports more than Brand House. WBW right now has a great lineup, not to include myself, or maybe I should. You can catch live shows all day on WBWTV.com. WBWTV.com. Thanks to these contributions, Brian House is able to give all of us a platform to do live streaming without charging us directly. He takes care of all the costs from bandwidth to airtime to website to the wonderful crew in the control room who are running the shows. We have Brian House himself in his programs. We have Trevor Loudon, Ivan Reichland, myself, Patrick Wood, Andy Woods, um, my favorite pastor of all time. He's amazing. Like since I found Andy Wood's ministries, I have a church now, and it is fun, and it is accurate, and it is honest. So here's another plug. If you're looking for a place that is true and definitely discuss a lot more than usual churches of Bible prophecy, there you have it. Andy Wood's Ministries would be where you want to check it out. And there normally Sundays as soon as I get a chance to get on there. What else do we have? We have Dr. Rob Linstead is on the lineup as well. So, anyways, www.foundation.com. www.foundation.com is where you can make a 100% tax deductible donation. With that, you support every name I just said, including Brian House himself, who has been pretty much covering the truth and worldview, Christian worldview, while everybody else was busy doing other stuff. Okay, I do have, I think, a few minutes because I've got to show you this. I'm muted again. This is a video. Let's fast forward on the play, but I hope you can catch what is happening. I'm going to pause it for a second. This is a Palestinian school. These are Palestinian students. They are doing a class training. I think you can put two and two together. I'll continue playing it. Oh, so bad, bad, bad Israelis. So bad, bad Jews killing innocent Palestinians for no reason, just out of the blue. See, this is where I want to talk to Rashida Tlaib. You wear that flag so proudly around you, and you forget, I guess, to mention the flag you're wearing so proudly represents absolute child abuse. It represents absolute um, terrorism, inhumanism, jihad, but you're still so very proud of it. See, that is one of the reasons Rashida has never said well in my book. You know, as I said, I'm never going to ask anyone to forget where they come from. Let me get this closer to my camera. Yeah. Am I Iranian flag? Yes. But I don't have the invaded Allah in the middle of it. I have the original Persian flag to represent me. And I have my Moroccan flag next to it. The fact that you're willing to represent a non existing land, which is not up for debate, even in your own quote unquote religion, um, as I said before, in Quran, you don't ever, not even once, see Palestine or Palestinians. You don't. You hear, I believe, 131 or 32 times of "O Bani Israel, 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 Bani Israel, sons of Israel." You hear that plenty in the Quran. So one of the reasons a lot of Muslims don't like to debate me when it comes to Palestine versus Israel, you represent proudly a group of people who have done absolutely nothing in any shape or form. Genuinely, please correct me. Do genuinely tell me the last time Palestinian Authority has done a single act, a single mini act, a single baby step, a single breath that had any benefit for human society, for any other country, for anyone. I got about 9 minutes. Let me know if you can think of one. Um, they have killed plenty of Jews. They have trained plenty of innocent child into jihadists, hateful people. They have their pay per slay program. I mean, you go kill Jews, you either die or you end up in prison. It depend on which scenario. You and your family get money. If you're dead, your family gets all the money. If you're in prison, you get monthly. They get monthly. Hallelujah! Everybody's happy. Let's go kill more Jews. I do apologize. Is the way I'm delivering this, but that's just the basic of it. There is no somebody's like this paper slip thing is more complicated than you. No, it's not. It's literally pay per slave. Pay per slave. Like it's simple. You kill Jews, you get paid. You kill Jews, you die, your family gets paid. It's just simple as that. Now, that's another thing that our Biden regime has resumed because President Trump cut the money on them. President Trump said, stop pay per slave or no more money. They said, we're not stopping pay per slave. President Trump said, no more money, and he didn't give them money. Within the first week of Biden coming in, money was back on the table. Um, yes, Donald. I have noticed if you watch movies or TV shows about terrorists, they paint Jewish people as the bad guys. Actually, I'm going to go a little further. If you watch, few are still fine, but majority, not all of them, but majority, if you watch any kind of shows or movies when there's a terrorist attack and the first, because we're so stereotyping, right? The first suspect is the Muslim guy, and ends up that the Muslim guy was the most innocent person, most American loving character of the whole movie, and anyone except the Muslim guy was the bad guy. Like now it's like like it's Jewish, Christian, everybody except, you know, that's why to this day I still strongly support and always promote Law and Order SVU in their season 20, I think, uh, last like finale, season finale is when they have no, it was 21, season 21, I think. Anyways, it's when the congresswoman, the Muslim congresswoman, is raped, and then she identified her attackers as two MAGA hat very white boys. Turns out they're not the attackers. Turns out the Muslim congresswoman is a lesbian. Turns out the Muslim congresswoman's ex-husband is the one who beat and raped her to teach her a lesson. In the very closing argument um, in the court, I just thinking about it, is when the district attorney picks up the Quran and asks the ex-husband, "Are you telling me this book does not allow you to beat and rape your wife?" And then puts it down. Show got huge hit. They got huge backlash. Almost got canceled from air, but they are back. That is a rare thing you see, and this was 2021. So it's not like, oh, it was a long ago. No, it was very recent. That's why I'm still a huge fan of the show, the production, Law and Orders for You, because they have done a lot of taboo, if you call it. But other than that, yes, normally it ends up being some, mug up hat bearing white Christian who did it. Um, and that's Hollywood, any industry. Well, anywhere. You just don't you can be anything except a Islamophobe. Now Islamophobia is the only non-accepted term. Like you can be, which I am. Islamophobia doesn't exist. It doesn't. It's a made-up word by Muslim Brotherhood themselves, and we have Hussein Obama to thank for spreading it out there. Um. Anyway, sorry, I kind of got sidetracked with the show and stuff. Back to it is this is what um, go away. That's a good question. No, interesting enough, the Hello Commander national anthem or anthem never made its way to Palestinian kids. It didn't. I don't know why, but it didn't make its way to the Palestinian people um, for some reason. And anyway. Okay, I'm coming to an end of my show today. Um, someone asked me on one of the comments somewhere that liveuptofreedom@gmail.com is the answer. If you have any questions that you want to ask, you might have asked it on the comment section and I kind of missed it. Didn't come through it. Liveuptofreedom@gmail.com is the best place to send your questions because I check that email every morning. And then when I see the questions, I'll gather them. And then when I come on air, I can read from the questions, answer them, address them. I should resume my Q&A segments again. So live up to freedom at gmail.com. Live up to freedom at gmail.com is where you can send your questions. And of course, live up to freedom.com in general is where you might find a lot of answers to your questions going through my video page because I've done a lot of Q&As and I've done a lot of videos answering questions. So it might be there, but I have no problem repeating myself. As you know, I'm a broken record. Islam is not a race. Islam is a cult. Remember the broken record of Islam is not a race. Islam is a cult. Um, ah, sorry, that's a funny one. Transphobic. This phobia thing is funny. Okay, I need to get going, guys. I'm sorry. I can't. I feel like not. The biggest reason of me doing this right here is you guys. So when you comment, I just want to read them and just interact with it. But I think we covered everything today. So remember, Islamic Republic of Iran and United States government are negotiating. They get money. We get three citizens back, possibly. Or they might get the money and we may never get our prisoners back. Okay. Noted. I will keep my eyes on that negotiation. If any updates comes up, I will bring those to you. I will be back tomorrow, same time, 5 p.m. Central Time. That's literally my spot. Unless something comes up, we're back to regular scheduling. So if I'm getting shadow banned, if you're not getting notifications, remember, liveuptofreedom.com is where it's streaming. wbwtv.com, wbwtv.com. Um, my Facebook pages, both of them, my YouTube page, my Rumble page, my Twitter. I think that's the six platforms I am on at 5 p.m. Central Time every day. If you watch it on Facebook or YouTube and you don't see me there, I would say go to Rumble because sometimes I might be touching topics that will get me banned or permanently removed. So I'm just gonna head that way. Do Facebook, do my website www and Rumble. Kind of skip Facebook and YouTube. Um, thank you, Donald, for your time because you also put time into joining me. Um, Oh, Karen, don't apologize. You guys, just stay safe, just stay vigilant. I need to hop off. I need to get going. I gotta go get work done. I'll see you all tomorrow. In the meantime, you have any questions, send them my way. Live up to freedom at gmail.com. But stay safe, stay vigilant, And may God bless you and may God bless America.